Hello, my name is Steve Clare. I was one of the founders of Venice Community Housing, and I was its first executive director. I was the executive director when we started the Westminster TLC. So a little bit of background. Venice Incorporated, VCH Incorporated in 1988, so we needed to go out and start raising money to create this facility. One of the first places I went was to the Brentwood Presbyterian Church. They had a committee there. I can't remember the name of the committee. It was some sort of a service committee, and I asked if I could have a spot on the agenda to talk about the project that LUCAP and Venice Community Housing were undertaking. And they put me on the calendar, and I went over and described what we were doing, and they were very excited about it. I was asking them for a financial contribution, and they got back to me and said, well, we don't want to just make a financial contribution. We want to be partners with Venice Community Housing and LUCAP in the development and operation of this transitional housing facility. So we were really excited and appreciative because, frankly, the Brentwood Presbyterian Church had more expertise, more resources, more capacity than LUCAP and Venice Community Housing had together at that time. This project was the second project of Venice Community Housing. We worked together to build the transitional housing facility. One of the Brentwood Presbyterian Church members was Joe Sawicki. He was an architect. The leadership of the Brentwood of this service committee, people that have been instrumental in not only developing the project but also sustaining the work of the transitional housing facility all through the years. Bill Wagner, Rob Hudnut, Diane Berman. There were so many people that were in the church who participated in the construction of this facility, but also the ongoing programmatic support for the women and children that we started. Joe Sawicki, as I said, was the architect, and he designed this project. We started construction. Well, before we started construction, we needed to raise some money, and I'm really excited. The HOPE board, or I'm not sure if they were the HOPE board at that time, but the Presbyterian church members undertook to write a grant, which we got. They created the first grant for this facility, and they got the first grant for this facility. And that $150,000 plus other money that Venice Community Housing Corporation had raised was enough to enable us to start and finish construction with the volunteer support of scores of members from the Brentwood Presbyterian Church, as well as lots of community members. And working on the construction, they had electricians and plumbers and roofers that were church members that all got involved. It turned out to be really a project that was really the responsibility of the Brentwood Presbyterian Church and members of what later I think became HOPE, that brought the project into being and that sustained the project through all these many years. So I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate HOPE on all its decades of service, not just to the women and children in this transitional housing facility, but for all of their good work. Thank you. Thank you for your support of Venice Community Housing and our mission to provide housing and support to homeless women and their children.
Hi everyone, I'm Becky Dennison and I'm the Executive Director of Venice Community Housing. I joined VCH in 2016 after the HOPE Board had already been working with Venice Community Housing for close to 25 years at that point. And I was introduced to them right away, and I just want to start out by saying thank you and congratulations for the amazing work you did all of that time, both for families experiencing homelessness here in Venice and across the West Side through your colleagues and others at Brentwood Presbyterian Church. I think the most amazing things about the HOPE Board for me were the depth of dedication from a really small group of people, right? And you always hear about a small group of people who can change the world, and I think that's very true of the Hope Board. They remained incredibly dedicated to our TLC program here at VCH in ways that most volunteers don't have the capacity to do, frankly, right? So they were throwing holiday parties and gathering donations and painting walls and building a building from the ground up, and contributing funds every year at a very specific percentage and beating the pavement to raise money, which is incredibly difficult work. They were coming to interview families to see who we could house here at TLC and sort of match our services to the best of our ability, because there's so much overwhelming need and unfortunately so few short-term housing beds and permanent housing. So they helped us to work through the many families that needed housing and to serve them the best that we could once they were here. They were true partners in every sense of the word, right? They knew the folks who lived here. They knew our staff. We shared stories to Brentwood Presbyterian to help raise money. They were always looking for ways to give more, creating job opportunities in their own places of work for moms here at the TLC to get some job training and permanent work experience. So I can't say enough about how much and how I've never seen before in my work at a nonprofit, this small and amazing and dedicated group of volunteers remain dedicated for 3 decades to their mission, to our shared mission, and to this amazing program we have here at the TLC. So thank you very much again. Congratulations. One of our best and longest term and most amazing partners.
Hi, my name is Courtney Abrams, and I used to live here at the TLC. Before I got to the TLC, I was couch surfing. I ended up staying at a motel, and then I found the TLC. I was a college student. I was working part-time. I had a son that was about 5 years old at the time, and we were really struggling trying to find a safe and stable environment until we were able to get on our feet, and TLC was able to provide that for me. During my time at the TLC, I received help with apartment hunting. I was already working in school, so I was helped with keeping on track with my savings goals and just keeping on track with the time period that I would be to move out. Fast forward, I was able to receive permanent housing through Section 8, which the TLC helped me tremendously with. Also, they helped me with furniture once I moved out, and they kept in touch with me to make sure that for the first 3 months of me living on my own, that everything was okay.
Hello, my name is Lucia Mendez. I am one of the many women who came to the TLC program to start their journey to permanent housing. I was here when Hope was contributing to the TLC program. Thanks to the contributions of Hope, families experience a unique experience here at the TLC. I got the opportunity to experience one of those unique things. Hope will deliver a Thanksgiving basket for the families with a home meal for Thanksgiving. Also, we celebrated Halloween, and we always looking forward for the lunch, for the Christmas lunch. That was when we come together and we were able to meet the Hope Board. We will never forget that. Thanks to the services that Hope provided to the TLC, many of the women, I am one of them, we were able to succeed and finally find permanent housing. And today I want to thank Hope for all the support and dedication to our families at the TLC. Thank you for the support that you provided, especially during the most difficult times of their life, which is the journey to permanent housing. Thank you.
Hello, Hope Board members. My name is Lupe, and I'm the current TLC program assistant. I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to you all and say thank you so much for all the years of kindness, love, and all the contributions that you have provided for TLC and our families. Over the years, thanks to you guys, TLC has grown so much and developed into such a wonderful place for families to be during their hard time. I really want to encourage you guys to visit us soon, and I really want you guys to know that TLC will always remember you guys and welcome you guys with open arms. We really truly do appreciate everything you have done for our program, and we want to say thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Genesis Batalla Munoz, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about where I was before meeting TLC or even qualifying for the program itself. And unfortunately, before I actually was able to be onboarded onto the TLC program, I was on the homeless vouchers that the actual county provides. They only give you a limited amount of money, which can make it very difficult, can make you very desperate about where you spend that money in regards to shelter. For example, I was going from motel to motel. It wasn't an ideal situation, especially having escaped from a DV situation as well. You'd hear couples fighting, having to relive traumas that you definitely didn't want to remember. But after having been in the streets from basically a month and a half, it definitely has you appreciate TLC more than you'd like. I feel like it's a God-given gift at this time, simply because I don't have anywhere else to go or anyone else to rely on for that. TLC didn't let me be on the streets. So in regards to before I even became homeless, I was actually dealing with a lot of issues personally, but after I became homeless, all those problems became much more harder in a reality. For example, looking for a job. When I was homeless, you have to have either a set address or some sort of ID in order for them to actually hire you or have an onboarding process. So that in itself was difficult, but coming to TLC and having a permanent, not a permanent address, but in a sense a temporary address where you can put into applications and have them reach back out to you, have them send you your paycheck, definitely makes a difference that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of obstacles as to why homeless people can't actually receive jobs. I am now employed at a after-school program. I actually am studying to become a teacher, so that in itself is great news because I love working with children. They're my passion, they're everything. Their ability to find happiness in everything, to just explain their mind and everything gives me hope, because I know that once I complete my degree and everything, being homeless won't be a thing I have to worry about that often. You know, I'd have a career, I'd have somewhere to fall back on. So that's why I pursue my education very hard, because I don't want to put my son through that situation. And yeah, like I said, TLC definitely has made a lot of things impossible possible. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Sorry for crying.
My name is Bridget Bell, and I'm the Director of Policy and Programs at Venice Community Housing, and I am so honored today to be given this opportunity to say to the HOPE Board, thank you so much for over 3 decades of service and partnership with Venice Community Housing and the operation of our TLC program. Partnerships of any kind really require a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and a lot of heart, and it's not not always easy. And when you work on behalf of families who find themselves in need, that partnership becomes really important, and the strength of that partnership is really something that has to be thought about and has to be handled with care. And your partnership with our staff here at the Venice Community Housing has provided that in so many immeasurable ways for all of the families who have found themselves in positions where they were seeking resources and services from our program. I personally have witnessed holiday parties. I have witnessed gift bag giveaways, Mother's Day dinners and brunches and lunches that have really just gone far and over and beyond the call of duty, has touched women's and children's lives in ways that they will never forget. If you can imagine, the path from homelessness to permanent housing is one that's fraught with many challenges. And I am so happy and so proud to say that our partnership with the Hope Board has really, really helped women and families meet those challenges and meet those needs and find themselves in predicaments and places in permanent housing in ways that's just been life-changing, not only for them, but for me to witness as a staff at Venice Community Housing. So on behalf of all of us at the TLC, we thank you for your service, we thank you for your dedication, we thank you for your kindness.